Hello friends, welcome back to this tutorial series of Jetpack Compose, and in this tutorial we are going to learn about Scaffold. So Scaffold is basically a different layout from others which helps us to build our app according to the material style guidelines. So it helps us to arrange the proper layout at the proper place. So in this tutorial we will be seeing how to implement that and how to implement app bar, bottom bar and floating action button as well using that. So let's understand it practically by jumping into Android Studio. So here I am in an empty Android Studio project where I have created this new file scaffold demo, and here I'll first create a composable function, that is a scaffold practice. Okay, and here I'll be taking the first layout as a scaffold. So scaffold is basically helps us to build our apps faster according to Material 3 design guidelines. So in the exam times when we start a new project, we were able to see the top app bar at the top. But in the Compose, we don't see this anything because Compose gives us a full freedom to design our layout the way we want, and it does not force us to specific type of a app bar or something layout like that. But if we want that in the Compose, then we can easily do that with the help of scaffold. So we'll make the concept clear as we go on. So this is the scaffold layout, and all the things we can add here in the like a app bar, top app bar, floating action button, bottom bar, all the things we can add in this scaffold layout itself. So for the app bar, here it is called as a top bar. In the top bar we have here top app bar, and here if you just hover on this one, then we need to opt in for experimental 3 API. So I just click on this one, and here we have a title. So title is accepts a composable. It is the title of the screen that we want to give. So I'll just write my app, and as soon as we see here, yes, the title is here. So we don't need to set any style, any font size for this one, or neither any spacing. Still already there is a spacing here, so it came exactly where we wanted, and this is what the scaffold do for us. It just like it has an invisible layout for everything. So and it keeps on filling as we add the layouts here. We can also add a back navigation button if there is a back button possible from the screen. So in order to do that, we have here navigation icon attribute where we can write icon button. Here of course we need to implement an on click, and here we can use one icon. So as you can see, as soon as we have entered this one, this spacing is already applied to here. In the icon we will write image vector like sorry, not image, icons dot default auto mirror dot default dot arrow back, and we will write content description as a go back. Okay, and as soon as we put this code, you can see the back arrow will appear here, and yes, back arrow has appeared here with the proper spacing as per the material guidelines. So this is the advantage of using scaffold. This is minimum code. We just need to this is just like a plug and play template, and we need this minimum code in this. After this now we are our app bar is now ready. And one thing I again wanted to show you, after this top app bar, let me come out of it, and there is a floating action button also. So how we can do that in Compose is a floating action button. We also have a composable floating action button which we need an on click, and inside this we will again take this icon. So I just copy this icon from here and paste it here, and as soon as you can see, I have put the function here. You can see a navigation floating action button is appeared here with the back arrow. Generally we don't want a back arrow here, so we'll just get an add here, so that it is generally used to add any new item in our record. So this is how it looks. So if you can see, it has a proper spacing, it has correct spacing as well, and as well as the spacing for the icon as well. So this is the ready-made floating action button, and whatever we want to handle on the click on this, we can handle it in this Lambda. After this floating action button, I also wanted to show you that bottom bar. We have a top bar, also we have a bottom bar. So bottom bar, again here we have bottom amp bar, and here we can have a bottom bar with a multiple layouts. And as soon as I have written the bottom amp bar, we can see some paint line appeared here already, and the floating action button has been already automatically lifted up. Here we have a navigation bar item. So it has attribute as a selected, and of course after making it dynamic we should handle it with the help of state, but I am, for the demonstration purpose, I am just writing is hard to as a true. Again, another thing is an on click, after clicking on which we can switch to multiple tabs. It's a tab like behavior, and the icon is an icon. Icon is again a composable, and we can just again copy the same code from here. It is an icon composable with the image vector, and we'll just write here star. Content description can be uh, favorites, so that this tab, clicking on this tab will navigate us to the favorites tab. And here we also have an attribute called as a label. It's again a compose function, and we'll apply label as a favorites. And you can see, let the rendering complete. Yes, you can see this type of layout, and generally we put uh, three of the items here. So let's try out those. This bottom app bar accepts any number of action bar items here, so we will put total 3 numbers, and just keep looking at this, and just check how it modifies. So this will be, the others two will be deselected if one is selected, and I'll make it as a search. Okay, what went wrong? Okay, search, and third one is a, let's call it as a person, and let's make it as a profile tab. And now let the rendering complete, and yes, now you can see the professional bottom bar is now ready for us to use with this minimum amount of code. This is a favorite, this is search, and this profile. So you can navigate to the 3 different fragments with the help of this. And in the compose, we don't use fragments generally. We can navigate to different composables with by clicking on here. So this is the power of compose. With the very small uh, coding, we are able to build such a dynamic behavior. Now after doing all this bottom bar, I again wanted to show something. It is a feedback mechanism. It is a snack bar post. So in it, multiple times you have seen in the multiple applications that a uh, small toast like message come from bottom upwards, stays there, and dismisses after some time. Generally in the Gmail, when you delete conversation, when you archive any conversation, then you can see the message. So that feedback message is nothing but a snack bar. So how we can implement it in the compose? There is a different way to implement that. That is a, we need a host for that snack bar host. So this accepts lambda, and we can write snack bar host, and it asks for a host state. So it asks for a state at here is a this is an interaction element. So let me go the top and declare snack bar state equal to remember, because as we are under the composable function, then we need to make a use of remember, and we have already seen what remember does in the state video. Snack bar host state, okay, and we can assign it here snack bar state. Okay, now our snack bar state is assigned. If we want to show the snack bar by clicking on somewhere, let's assign the click event for this floating action button. In this on click, we'll be using the same post state snack bar state dot show snack bar, and we can just pass the message. Let's make it as a fab clicked. Okay. Still you are getting some error, and if you hover then it says that this is a suspend function and needs to be called from a coroutine. So how we can get the coroutine call in our composable, that is val scope equal to remember coroutine scope, that will give us scope and we can launch our coroutine inside. So scope dot launch, and inside that we will take this snack bar state, and now it doesn't complain anymore. Okay, let the reading complete. Okay, and now if I start the interactive mode here, then after clicking on this floating action button, yes, we are able to see the snack bar tab clicked. And if you can see, then it has a specific amount of padding left from here, left and right, and it is coming at the exact place where we are expecting it. As we have already bottom bar here and floating action button here, the snack bar is appearing here. Generally it appears at the lowermost area, but and if you remove this bottom bar, then it will again, this floating action button will again be descended to this downward, and so will happen for the snack bar as well, because as this is scaffold, it will automatically take care of the spacing if we add or remove the items. So this is the advantage of scaffold. Now all the things are clear, but still one error we are able to see. It is here in this block. So this block, what is this block? This is the scaffold and this is the body of the scaffold. So scaffold gives us this body so that whatever the content we want to display inside this one, then we can start adding it here. Okay, we'll add one box here. Let's ignore this warning for now and see what happens. Okay, I need to import the box. Please let me import the box. Okay, modifier equal to modifier dot fill max size, and inside that I will take one text composable. Let's make it as a hello world, the popular thing in the computer science world, and let rendering complete. And but rendering is now complete, but we are not able to still see the hello world. Is the box visible? Let me try by giving a background color dot red. Okay, let the rendering complete. Yes, if the every box is getting filled, this area is getting filled, that means box is there, but still our hello world is not visible there. But why is that? Let me try doing something. Let me try giving it a style. So text style and increase the font size to something big called, let's say, 100 sp, and please let me import this. Sometime it, okay, now it's, now after making it 100 sp, yes, now we are able to see the text, but this is not what we are expecting. We were expecting to start it from somewhere here, but it is now again starting from here itself, from the bottom left corner. But why is this happening? Because this content block, this block doesn't know that we are we have already added some items, like we have added this app bar. It doesn't know, it has no way to understand that we have already covered this item with another, and then please start it from the bottom of this top bar. So how it will let us know, how we can let it know that these things that you need to start from here. That's exactly why this error is showing. So if you hover on this one, it is saying that content padding parameter is not used. So this scaffold gives us a parameter called as a content padding, and it asks us to use this. So what is this content padding? This is actually a padding. If you can see, this is padding color. This is actually a padding because scaffold has all the record of what different items we have added here. We have added a top bar, we have added a bottom bar, we have added a floating action button, and these layouts are of course occupying some type of space on the layout, and it asks us to, hey, take these padding values and put your parent composable, put these values in your parent composable so that your parent composable will be pushed by this much of spacing and you will be able to get the desired result. So if I add this padding and add this content padding here, then you can see, yes, you can see what we want to, what we are expecting earlier. Now this is happening because this content padding has all the values of all the four values, and that's why it is now able to push the content inside using this padding, content padding, and we are able to see our expected result. So this is how the scaffold works. Hope now you have an understanding about the scaffold and how we can add or remove elements from that, and how we can use that content padding, how we can add a top bar, bottom bar, and floating action button, and also a feedback mechanism thing like a snack bar, how to implement that. Now, if you still have some doubts, then you can put your questions in the comments box below. I will try my best to answer those. If you are new to Android and are more interested to learn how to build applications from scratch, then I invite you to my upcoming webinar where I'll share my secrets how you can become an Android app developer in just 30 days. So I'll be sharing the roadmap, and this section is completely free of cost. So you can find the link in the description box itself and you can register from there. You will find the date and time on the landing page itself. If you like this video, then please click on like, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you will be get notified whenever a new video is published. We'll meet in the next tutorial with some another interesting topic. Till then, goodbye.